guys, I'm gonna be doing a video lesson on how to play Cross the Sea by Alex G on the guitar. The song just dropped, but I'm pretty sure I have the chords pretty accurately down as the way he plays them, which is pretty cool. But yeah, if a live video drops and he's playing it differently, I'll just update the tab below or just do a new video. But yeah, so to begin with, the song is in standard, which is nice, so you don't need to tune anything. And there's only like 4 chords, and so it's not that complex. It's just like has some pretty interesting picking, really. So yeah, to begin with, the first chord is going to be an A add 9. It's like that, and it's going to be playing the open A. You're going to put your index finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, and then your pinky on the 4th fret of the G string. So, and then you're going to keep your index finger there, and then on the next chord, keep the index finger there on the 2nd fret of the D. You want to put your middle finger down the 3rd fret of the A, then the 2nd fret on the D. The G string should be muted, but if you want to keep it open, you can keep it open because it sounds pretty fine as well. And then you're going to put your ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. So those are the first 2 chords. The 3rd chord is going to be a G, and he plays the G, like he varies. He either plays like a full G, which is going to be 3-2, then 3-3 at the end, or he plays it where he keeps the high B and the high E open, and that's what he does usually because he's adding a lot of like flares, like that, you know. But at the end of the intro, essentially, the 4th time he goes through the chord progression, he does play an actual G, so just like be on the lookout. But yeah, so you can have that G, and what he typically does is he kind of does a little like that. So he kind of puts his index finger down on the 1st fret of the B string as he's strumming, and then he raises it. So like, see that? So that's kind of like some flair he does, and he does it throughout the song. And so the next chord is going to be a D chord, but again, he varies the way he plays the D even in the song, and so usually he's playing the D but without the B and the E, so just that muted. So like just the A, the D string, and then the 2. But like I said, at the end of the intro, the 4th time he goes about it, he does a full D instead. So yeah, but really it's just essentially a D, and you can play the whole D if you want, but in the song he's mainly playing like that. So yeah, so then essentially those are all the chords. So I'll go through it. Like that. And so that's the chords, and then so now I'll just cover the like the variations he adds, or like the flares he adds. So sometimes after he's playing the last chord, he'll do that kind of a flare, which is just kind of like a hammer-on essentially before he repeats the chord progression. And so that's just going to be after you play the D, you're gonna play the D string and then hammer on down the 2nd fret of the D string, and then you can and then that's gonna leave you in the perfect position to play the 1st chord again. So just put your pinky down, and then so that's a pretty easy flare he does. He just plays that. And so then there's another flare he adds on the G chord, or when he plays the G chords, I mean, he adds a lot of flares. And so I already showed you one where so that's one. Sometimes he'll do the same exact thing, but like pick it more, so it'll be like that. So that's just gonna be like open B string, and then 1st fret of the B string, and then open again, and then you're gonna go to the 2nd fret of the G string, which is gonna basically be like your chord at the D chord. So like that. So that's one variation he does in the G. And then around the third time he plays it in the intro, you'll notice he also does another variation, which is like kind of like that. And that's probably the cooler like, variation, but so yeah, so that's just gonna be like, you play the G, strum it, and then do, so 3, 1, 0. So 3, 1, 0 really quickly, and then again, you're gonna play the 2 and then strum the D. So you can add more strumming in between those pickings if you can, but if you can't, the picking sounds fine. So that's another variation he does, where it's just like, so yeah, that's one cool thing he does as well. And so finally, I'd say like the last variation, which I've already told you before, but I'll just mention it again, is at the end, so like, well, at the end of the intro, so the fourth time he plays the progression, he does again plays the whole whole G, and then plays the whole D. Like that. So yeah, that's cool to see. There's a lot more like tiny guitar parts added that are like just like overdubs, which I could cover if you want, but that's just the basic chord progression, and I'm pretty sure I've covered all of the like variations and flares. It's a little tricky if you're not used to picking and strumming a little, but other than that, if you just practice it, it's not too hard. So yeah, again, I'll have the tab in the description below, so if you have any questions past that, just put any comment down and I'll respond, and feel free to leave any requests too, and I'll try to, and eventually I'll try to cover them. All right, see ya.